So much for joining me in the throne room. Now today on the throne room, we're going to talk about season 8 predictions for Daenerys Targaryen. So right now we're going to go ahead and get into that. And the first subject I want to talk about is Dany is pregnant. Now, in many cases, after the steamy hot boat scene, she's likely pregnant, and I don't really understand Tyrion's face, being that he talked about Jon Snow and suggesting him as a match, and I don't understand his reaction after. And after a ton of hot and heavy flirting, Dany and Jon made like typical Targaryens, consumed their relationship. So they consummated the relationship with, the boat scene. And this was a lot to handle all on its own. Now, a lot of people were all mad about it and all up in arms and stuff. But we must also consider the fertility talk that the duo had while hanging out in the dragon pit. Now, back in season 1, the evil witch, Mary Moz, Dor told Dany that she would be unable to bear children. When she confides in Jon, he assures her that Mary wasn't exactly the most reliable source of information. In fact, Mary actually told Dany, when the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, when the seas go dry and the mountains blow in the wind like leaves, that's when her womb will quicken again. So in that case, I think that has something to do with the end of the Game of Thrones, but I could be wrong. Dany is the mother of dragon, and she's also her literal fire-breathing winged beast, R.I.P. Viserion. But if she gave birth to Jon's human baby, she would be bringing another kind of dragon into the world. So that's one of the theories I have for her in season 8. The next one I want to go ahead and talk about is Jon will kill Daenerys. Is another theory that is going hot around the internet. So a lot of these theories are a little bit of mixed theories of what people think, and also I put a little interjection of my own. These two are the last seen tangled up in another during a hot and heavy love fest. However, that neither Dany nor Jon are aware of Jon's true identity. He's Aegon Targaryen. During The Dragon and the Wolf, HBO finally confirmed that Jon is the son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Ned Stark's sister, Lyanna Stark, meaning Jon and Dany are super related. And this revelation means that Jon is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. Though the former bastard of Winterfell doesn't seem like the type to go to a murderous rampage in the name of power, there might be one major reason why he kills his new lover. If Jon is in fact the prince that was promised of a legendary Azor High reborn, his only hope at saving Westeros from the impending darkness at the Ninth King's army might be to fashion a Lightbringer's sword using Dany's heart and soul. Killing his love won't be for something as silly as place on the Iron Throne. If Jon must make the ultimate sacrifice, it will be for humanity as a whole. Now, since Jon is both noble and loyal to a fault, just like his late father Ned, this epic but cruel ending just might be the way Game of Thrones comes to an end. So that's just my theory on season 8 Game of Thrones. And so in this case, they're both preparing for the bloodbath, and they're not the only ones preparing for everything. Queen Cersei Lannister, who is currently pregnant with the twin brother, Jaime Lannister's baby. So, we'll just say I'm not sure. I told you on my last video, if you would like to see that, I left the link within the extra area of this video. If you would like to watch more on, is the baby really Jaime's? You got to think about that. You don't know everything about Cersei. She seemed to know a whole lot about what was going on with Euron for some odd reason. Like, she knew more than she was saying. Now, though she's now aware of the impending threat from beyond the wall, Cersei is intent on holding on to her position. With both of her brothers headed north to defend Westeros against the army of the dead, Cersei might be the only Lannister on the wrong side of history, at least for right now. Following the episode finale, the couple predictions I provided right now, that I've actually seen a couple of, interjections online about it, and then I just decided to put a couple of my own spins on it. And yeah, I totally think that a lot of these theories are plausible. And then we'll be talking about her trip to Westeros. What's that going to be like? I will give you a little bit of what I think will happen between Jon Stark's sisters, Arya and Sansa, and their new blonde-haired queen that is going to come to Westeros. It might not be as good as Jon thinks, so they're headed to Winterfell together. Jon's bent the knee to her, definitely the Dragon Queen, so that may defend the North against the White Walkers and their terrifying army of the dead. And in this case, even though the pair seem prepared for war, they don't yet realize that the wall, which has protected Westeros for thousands of years, has him crashing down. So there's a lot going on as we open the next season. And I think that's maybe the reason why they're making it a little spanned out, so that they can act like it's like a time jump, like she's pregnant and the baby's going to be born. And maybe that's why, he gets to be like that Azor High, like that whole thing about that, like that might come true. He'll be the Azar High reborn, and then he has to be, the person that has to stab the stab the sword into her chest for the world war to end. So that would mean that the prophecy that the witch gave her, just like Cersei, and I'm going to talk about the things that we can actually compare to Cersei. It's very interesting, very, very interesting, their correlations together. But, I'll be talking a little bit more about other theories that I have as well in single videos. But in this particular one, she did tell her when the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, and when the seas go dry, so that can mean ice, and the mountains blow in wind like leaves. And that's when her wound will quicken again. So maybe that means right now that's when she's, going to get pregnant when the night comes, We'll see. It's kind of a weird situation. It might have just been a riddle. She never said she wasn't. She just says when that happens. I think she wanted it to be when she's seen Khal Drogo. I don't know. She said something in the next prophecy. Maybe they're like separate. But that's kind of it for right now. Let me know what you really think of these couple of theories in this series of predictions on season 8. Jon will kill Daenerys. And then we'll be talking a little bit more about Cersei, Jaime Lannister, and Tyrion. I'll have all three of those on one video so that we can talk about that. And then we'll be talking about Tormund, did he live or die? And then also we'll be talking about Bran being Night King, and Theon and Yara get their revenge. So if you want to watch all of those brief series of, I'll put a couple of them together, and then we'll be ending this prediction series for right now, and then moving on to other single videos of things that I saw that maybe if you did not watch, like that you didn't see. So that will be our next episode of Throne Room, single episodes. If you haven't checked out Nightfall, I recommend you do that now. Great series. People are loving the series. Daily Motion peeps are definitely biting it all up. They love it, and I love it too. I actually heard about it through History Channel because I always watch their page, their internet page. You can watch it there or watch it free on channelclips.com. That link's below as well, with all 3 episodes of Nightfall for free. And they're a new video sharing website that shares films, YouTubers that are small, just interesting content. And they're not trying to be YouTube. I heard a actual one of the YouTubers, his name's Roberto Blake, he said, there can never be a new YouTuber. I don't particularly watch, like analytics types of channels that talk about promoting something because I can't buy their stuff, so I kind of don't want to watch it. But I respect what he does. So when I that's being said, he did said, there can't be another YouTube unless you just for 5 years you don't want any money and you just do it for a hobby. Well, that's what YouTube did, so why can't someone else do it? And I just didn't like the negativity that was being brought to the situation. So it's just me. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be updating you weekly with any Game of Thrones news that I collect online. I'm going to be searching online and finding information about what they're doing as they film, and definitely going to be giving you some new updates on other series. I'm going to just do a full video of Outlander, Last Kingdom, Medici's Masters of Florence. I'm just going to do full seasons for those that I've missed, those that you've missed, and then that way it can just be easier to tune in, longer videos. So thank you so much for joining me in the throne room. Now go ahead and bend the knee and subscribe. Click the subscribe button on the right, and have a great rest of your day. And thanks for tuning in.